Everyone's exhausted. We've had 3 new eras in 12 years, and at this point, the Mortal Kombat lore has the structural integrity of a wet paper towel. Because they turned every character into like a titan, and they made every fight into an endgame final battle multiversal crisis, NetherRealm didn't make the stakes bigger as they probably thought. They made them basically non-existent. If Mortal Kombat 13 wants to survive, it needs to stop playing with timelines and start playing for keeps. Today, I'm laying out the blueprint for a narrative hard stop. We're talking about the grounding of the realms, the return of the Onaga threat, and why someone permanently needs to die. It's time to fix this story in Mortal Kombat 13. But if you guys don't know me by now, I'm MrFrostyFlamez, but you can call me Mike. I do anything gaming, analysis, reviews, playthroughs, etc. I'm starting to do these like commentary analysis, and I don't do any of that over editing BS. I just like to talk, and you could just put me in the background or something. But if you like those videos, please share, subscribe, comment, and join the MrFrostyFlamez Legion. We're almost at 1600 strong. Become a Legionnaire today and join the Legion. Anyways, back to the video. I talked about it once, but the biggest problem that MK1 did with the story, it wasn't the dialogue, it wasn't, the bad writing or anything. I guess you could classify this as bad writing, but it's the multiversal problem. It creates a lack of consequence. When you have infinite katanas and infinite sub-zeros, death becomes a minor inconvenience. The technical term for this is a narrative devaluation. In Mortal Kombat 13, the first thing NRS needs to do is collapse the Hourglass. We need a fixed point that destroys the ability to time travel or hop dimensions. Okay, you could have a multiversal theory. You could have, say, a what-if scenario if Kano was the Titan or something like that, but please don't make them inner loop timelines. Keep them as arcade endings, keep them as what ifs, because I'm analyzing why the old timeline versus the new timeline dynamic has reached a point of diminishing returns. If the audience knows a character could just be revived or retrieved from another timeline, they stop caring about the journey. The multiverse is a poison. It's time for an antidote to it. In Mortal Kombat 13 or Mortal Kombat 2, whatever they call it, they need to find a way to focus on Liu Kang's timeline. That's what everyone thought it would be going into Mortal Kombat 1, but it seems like they just did a 180 and then all of a sudden we're doing all this multiverse stuff and it feels super rushed, like it's something straight out of an Injustice game, but it's just terrible and they need to fix it. And then hear me out, I'm done with sorcerers for now. I feel like it's like every other game where we're getting like a sorcerer like Shang Tsung, Shinnok, Quan Chi as villains, and trust me, they're good villains, hear me out, but I feel like they're just overdone, and with these NRS games, they do it too much. Shang Tsung is a beloved villain. He's one of the most recognizable villains in gaming history, but I feel like he just kind of is overdone a bit. He's in Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath and then immediately a villain again in Mortal Kombat 1. We need something bigger. We need something better. We need a force of nature. And for years, the community has been begging for the return of Onaga, the Dragon King, from Mortal Kombat Deception. But here's my take on him. Don't make him like a Titan. Make him a Realm Eater, sort of like the Galactus of the Mortal Kombat universe. I feel like MK13 should focus on the fallout of Liu Kang's perfect world being dismantled from the inside. We're talking about a slow burn horror approach. Let's see the realms actually suffer. Let's see the political tension between a weakened Outworld and a paranoid Earth realm. The story shouldn't be save the universe, it should be survive the siege. If they want to go bigger, if they want to go badder, they could go a route where they could say, how about this? Let me think of something off the top of my head. Maybe like Shao Kahn and Reiko, they get desperate in their Outworld civil war that they seek someone of a higher power. They seek someone that no one's ever sought out before, someone that Liu Kang thought that he stowed away. And if you've seen my other video, I talked about Conquest Mode and how it should be in MK13. They could tie it directly into Conquest Mode, where we have our fighter, our creative fighter, retrieve the Kamidogu for Onaga and revive him. And maybe he gets revived into something bigger, something badder, something that even Liu Kang is scared of. Because Liu Kang's basically he is a god. He could do whatever he wants, whenever he wants, and he could, erase consequences. He could erase everyone, start again. man. He's a Titan, but we need someone to challenge him or else it would feel meaningless. We need a way to focus on Liu Kang's timeline. Say if Shao Kahn or whatever revived Onaga, make our timeline the anomaly. Make our timeline something special that separates us from the other timelines in the universe, because you know they already started with this multiverse stuff, right? So it's gonna be hard to dial back, so it's always gonna be there. But maybe we could have it so our timeline was the anomaly. Our timeline was the only one with Onaga in it, and he's like a world eater. He's like a multiverse eater. He eats up multiverses, and we're one of the only surviving ones. That's how you go back and sort of like retcon, not retcon, but that's how you like dial back and fix it so we could focus on our own timeline. And then if we're gonna talk story, we have to talk about a system that is outdated to some, but me personally, I don't really mind it, and that's the chapter based story. Let me know your thoughts below if you like the chapter based story mode, but I feel like a lot of people think that it's outdated and they want something else. I say that if we have a conquest mode, that could tie directly into the cinematic story. And trust me, I love the chapter based story because it feels like a movie to me. It feels like something that I could just sit back, relax, and just watch the cutscenes play out with some interactivity where I'm playing the game, you know, when my time comes to fight. However, we could have a conquest mode and we could have a cinematic chapter based story. But if you guys don't like the cinematic chapter based story, there are some complaints where, you know, I'm forced to play as a character I don't like, etc, etc. But I don't mind it because it gives characters the spotlight that, you know, normally wouldn't have the spotlight. Like you could take jobbers like Reptile and Baraka and give them chapters, and all of a sudden they're not jobbers anymore, and that's what MK1 I believe did well. And if it really bothers you, we could also have a system where there could be branching paths. Like say you could give a team a goal to fight somebody. Say, you know, you have Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Smoke, and other Lin Kuei members, and they're all traveling as like a group to achieve a goal of whatever's in the story, and say it's time for a fight. You could choose out of the 5 characters or out of the whoever's in the party, right, to fight, and that could be like a small thing that could fix. I don't think they're gonna do that, but you know, if we want to talk how we could improve MK13, if we're gonna just talk about improvements period, that could be an improvement. And for me, this is just personal preference, but I love the tone of MKX. I love how it was dark, gritty, and like that adult like tone. I know MK1 was bright, colorful, and honestly I feel like it was a little too Marvel for my taste, but I think Mortal Kombat is best when it's dark, occult, and heavy. We're looking at the atmosphere receipts, you know, from MK like Deception, even in MKX, like I said. But Mortal Kombat 13 needs to return to that sense of dread. The story needs to feel like a struggle for the soul of the realms, not a Saturday morning cartoon. We need a return of Chaos and Order realms. Like I want to see Hotaru and a real Havoc come back, not no BS Titan Havoc. And I want them not as background cameos, but actually like an ideology within the game's setting and lore, and even as playable characters. And I hope that they even threaten Liu Kang. And then in the end, I feel like NetherRealm is just at a crossroads right now. They could just keep milking the multiverse until the lore completely dissolves, or they could do the right thing and they could ground the franchise into a new high stakes era of dark fantasy. The Titan era is over. I feel like it's time for the Dragon King. We gotta bring back Onaga, bring back consequences, and it's time for a story that actually respects the 30 years of history that we've invested in Mortal Kombat. But that's just my take. What about you? Comment down your thoughts below. Do you agree with me? Do you agree with everything that I say? If not, comment and let me know what you would change about what I would say, or what other characters you would like to bring back. But that's just gonna be it for today, guys. If you like this video, subscribe, join the Legion, like, comment, share, do all that stuff, and we want you to enlist to join the Legion. Anyways, thank you all for watching. MrFrostyFlamez out. Ciao.